So I thought I'd do a little intro to this video. We're having a great time in Hannibal, Missouri, heading down towards St. Louis and the Arch, and before we get there, we'll go to the confluence of the Mississippi and Missouri. But right now we're just having a beautiful walk. And I gotta tell you that it looks like Minnesota, it looks like Wisconsin. Corinne thinks it looks like Northern California. It could be almost anywhere, so I'm not going to tell you where we are right now recording this. But we had a great time in Iowa. We're having a great time in Missouri. The weather's been nice. Obviously a lot warmer than it was up in Minnesota. So I hope you enjoy our travels through Hannibal. Brinkley sure enjoyed them. Didn't you, Brink? Hey, Brinkley. Did you enjoy Hannibal? Huh? Did you enjoy it? Huh? Did you do a little labor? A little painting maybe? Huh? Yeah. All right. Say see you later.
Say see you later.
Historic Hannibal, Missouri, birthplace of Mark Twain. And today, everything Mark Twain. There's actually a barge coming up the river. That's the first one we've seen on the trip. Oh, we're walking up to the Mark Twain Lighthouse. Hey, look who I found. It's Brinkley. Hey, Boo. Hi. Hey, bud. Did you find Mark Twain? It's a long ways up there. There comes Corinne down. Hi. Boop. Tom Sawyer's infamous fence, which he never painted. And I think today he's going to get some help from somebody else. What do you think, Brink? So it's time to wrap things up here in Hannibal. It's time for Brinkley to put his paintbrush back, say goodbye to Mark Twain, and mosey on down the river, I guess would be a good term to use, where we'll find the confluence of the Mississippi and the Missouri. Then we'll head over to the Lewis and Clark Tower and see if it's open, and then down to St. Louis. You can really see the difference in the color between the two rivers. We get that up in Minnesota with the Mississippi and the Minnesota River coming out of the central and southern farming area. And it's kind of the same down here with the Missouri coming out of Montana and South Dakota and down along Nebraska. And thank goodness there was no flooding this spring, so we were able to walk down and see exactly where they come together. Brinkley was really having fun. And it was perfect timing for a barge to be coming down the Mississippi. Well, we got the Missouri flowing down here.
Mississippi.
And the Mississippi over here. It's pretty cool. What path are you taking, Brinkley? There goes that barge in the distance. Have you got a stick, Brink? Good boy. Yeah, a fish just jumped right there, yeah. Shoot. I could have caught that. Probably a carp. Those waves are from that barge. That's hilarious.
Yes. If you want to, you can carry this stick all the way back to the tent.
All right.
Okay? This is a great.
So I wish I would have paid closer attention in what would it have been, 5th grade history class, where we learned about the Louisiana Purchase and the expeditions of Lewis and Clark, but I didn't. However, there was a lot of reading along the Great River Road in Missouri and Illinois about their expeditions after the Louisiana Purchase. They started in 1804, went all the way up the Missouri, up into Montana, and then joined up with the Columbia River and went over to the Pacific. And then a couple of years later, they came back, all in an effort to help establish the American territory. So we hung out for a while at Confluence Park, had a great time. Brinkley got to run around a little bit and carry some sticks around. And then it was time to head out. But in order to head out, we had to cross over to the Illinois side, which meant a bridge. We're starting to learn that there's lots of bridges, some of which aren't where you need them to be. But they really range from old to new. And this one, as you can see, is beautiful and it's new and didn't mind this one at all. But some of the old ones, they're rusty, there's holes in them, They're very narrow. We almost got hit on one of them. And I just am not liking bridges over the Mississippi River.
Well, this kind of bridge I can handle. I like this kind of bridge.
But we got over to Illinois. We were headed down to the Lewis and Clark Tower, which looked like a beautiful viewing area, but unfortunately it was closed for the day. Luckily for us, we had our drone, so we were able to get some good footage from that. But if you're in the area, this does look like a cool place. So we then headed down the river a little bit more. We couldn't get into downtown St. Louis. At least we didn't see an easy way to get down to downtown St. Louis and park near the arch. So we decided to stay across the river in Illinois and view from a beautiful platform that they've put together over there. Had some fun with Brinkley. He loved the statue of the guy sitting there. No, he really didn't. But we also got to get the drone up in the air, which was really fun. Beautiful views. The sunset was going to be gorgeous. So right in the middle there, that old-looking bridge, that is an incredibly important monument, I'll say, in the city of St. Louis. That is the James Eads Bridge. It is the oldest remaining bridge across the Mississippi. It was built in 1874, and when it was built, it was an engineering marvel. It was the showpiece of St. Louis, which, of course, now today is the Gateway Arch, and it is an incredible both train and automobile bridge. Built way before its time, they say, and it's still standing 140 years later, and it actually looks a lot better than some of the other bridges we've seen. So, beautiful evening to be out viewing the arch. We got to watch the sunset. Then shortly after sunset, we left for our campsite, if you will. A beautiful winery out in the country. I checked to make sure there were no trains nearby, no train tracks nearby, and there weren't. And what we missed in the sunset at this winery, we certainly got with the beautiful sunrise the next morning. And then afterwards, the clouds departed. I was able to get the drone up to see what we had missed in getting there so late at night. I don't like arriving into a place where we're going to be camping or spending the night. I don't like arriving after dark. It's not safe. It's not good. But sometimes you have to do it, and I had checked with the owners beforehand, and they told me about their huge parking lot, so I felt pretty safe in arriving that late. But the next morning, we went for a nice little walk. Corinne and Brinkley were able to walk down the side of the vineyard a little bit while I had the drone out. It's a beautiful event center, weddings and meetings, business meetings. A good time was had by all, and we got a very good night's sleep, which is obviously one of the most important things. And look what I found. I found a moose, a Great River sign, and what's going on over here? Is this a party? Is it a party going on today, huh? Hi, buddy. Hi, bud. Here we go. There we go. Hi. So we were in the cute little town of Redbud, Illinois, before crossing back into Missouri and heading south. Why, yes, Brinkley, I would like 2 eggs over easy, bacon, lots of it, hash browns, and I'll just take an orange juice. Thanks very much. Oh my gosh, another bridge. Corinne was laughing at me so much. This one had a 20-ton weight limit. We're only 11 tons, so we're fine. Hurry up, trucks. Get off of here. I would like to come on. Can it be any narrower? Well, I have to be honest. I had to mute what I was saying with Corinne, and we were laughing so hard because my butt was just tingling. I was so nervous going over this bridge. I am not good with heights. I am not good with heights on bridges that are rusty. I am not good on heights with bridges that are rusty and have metal decking that you can see through. And I just wanted to get the heck off of that bridge. On our way down to a really fun area that I had seen online many years previous. So we left Illinois, drove back into Missouri just in time to take in Tower Rock Natural Area, a really cool land formation that finds itself in the middle of the Mississippi River. We saw a large barge going downriver, which was kind of cool and was getting to be a little bit more frequent now that we were getting a little bit further south. But Tower Rock, I came upon that in some literature many, many years ago and said that I wanted to go see it. Today, the water is high enough that we couldn't go out to it, but about once every 3 to 4 years, the water is low enough or drought conditions are bad enough where you can actually walk out to it, but it's an absolute muddy mess walking out to it. But it's been noted 2 or 3 times in the last 50 years that the drought has been bad enough and sustained for a long enough period of time that even the mud hardens over and you can walk all the way out to it without getting wet or muddy, they say. So first discovered or first mentioned by French missionaries back in the 1600s, and then Lewis and Clark wrote about it on their travels in the area, but just thought it was pretty cool. Nice little roadside park. Along the Mississippi, there's a lot of these. This one has some signage about Lewis and Clark and about steamboats. Okay, Brink, jump out. Good boy. So Corinne and I were just talking, and we realized that Brinkley is having the trip of a lifetime because every time we open that door, it's a new world for him. And he has no idea what's going to happen on the other side of that door. It could be a parking lot. It could be a park. It could be a beautiful stop along the Mississippi River. And come in a couple of weeks, it could be a sandy beach. Come on, Brink, let's walk out here. Come on, buddy. Let's go see what's going on. Or it could be a cool barge coming down the Mississippi. Yeah, what do you see, huh? We are just south of Cape Girardeau. It's warmed up to 64 degrees. Brinkley wants to check for Post-it notes. Don't you, Brink? Yeah, that's what he does. He jumps out and he checks for Post-it notes. So this is my favorite kind of old bridge. An old bridge that's closed. That is scary. And we are going into, hopefully, Fort Defiance State Park. Yep, there's the road I want right there. Beautiful. It's quite a bridge over there. What are you doing, Brink? Huh? You smoking a cigar this afternoon? Huh? You knucklehead. So we're at the confluence of the Ohio and the Mississippi. You might not be able to hear me. We got some barges going upriver on the Mississippi side. Under the bridge that, thank goodness, was closed. And then if I go across this park, you can see the bridges over the Ohio River. What you doing, Brink? You playing fetch?
Don't eat it. Ready?
Go get it, dude. And there's where the rivers come together. Another confluence, the Ohio River. Kind of the last of the major rivers, as they say it. In fact, when you're going north, they measure it from here. The Ohio coming into the Mississippi. And that's where we just saw those working barges. Over the bridge that's now getting torn down. Had fun putting the drone up and watching a barge come down the Ohio and take a sharp right and start heading back up the Mississippi. It's very interesting watching these working barges and how they maneuver with the different currents. And this video right here just so clearly shows the defining line between the two rivers when they come together. The parks at these confluences were really fun. Not very busy this time of year, so Brinkley got a chance to run around a little bit. The weather was nice. I had shorts on, which means Corinne still had a jacket on, but that's okay. The sun was out. As you can tell by most of these videos, it's been pretty windy the entire time. But it's still just so nice to be outside. Speed it up here and get back to the confluence where you can see Corinne and Brinkley running around for a second. That dividing line in the river is just shocking sometimes. And it's not pollution, it's sediment runoff mainly. There's Corinne and Brinkley down below. So as we started getting ready to say goodbye to the last large confluence, one last look at a bridge that should be torn down, and we had to drive over one that definitely should be torn down. Wow, they were scary bridges. Leaving Illinois and heading for Kentucky, where we will promptly get lost.
How you doing there, Stevie?
I love these old bridges. They're wonderful. The sign on my GPS says, "Welcome to Kentucky." It should say, "Your life will be safe in a few minutes as soon as you get off this bridge." Holy cow. Not my favorite bridge in the whole world. I like it better than the I-10 bridge in Baton Rouge, though. Well, we made it over the Bridge of Death into Kentucky. Proceeded to get lost on some dirt roads that we thought were the Great River roads, but they really weren't, and arrived at Fort Pillow State Park after dark. A beautiful state park, it turns out, but we weren't able to see anything because it was way too dark when we arrived. Again, don't like to do that. Good morning. So we have found ourselves at Fort Pillow State Park in Tennessee on a bluff overlooking the Mississippi River. It's a beautiful morning. Good morning, Brink. We had a real nice quiet sleep here last night. Hardly anybody in the campground. Had a couple possums visit us. That was funny, listening to them rustle through the leaves. We thought it was kind of neat that they've got these dog leash tenders at all of these state parks. We noticed them in Missouri as well. I think we noticed them in Iowa. Actually, they're not dog leash tenders. They're for hanging lanterns. But I don't know too many people that bring lanterns anymore, so maybe they work more for dog leashes. But a beautiful campground. We walked over to the bluff past one of the tent campsites. It's kind of like when they say a house has an ocean view and it's 5 miles away. Fort Pillow State Historic Park in far western Tennessee. Look it up online. There's some cool Civil War history here. Well, not cool, but interesting. Mom and Brinkley are up taking a photo op at the cannon. And I can't say enough about how nice it is to be wearing shorts. Well, as we say goodbye to all things Missouri and Illinois, which is a much longer state than I thought it was, and a little bit of getting lost in Kentucky, and we start some fun in Tennessee, it's time to say hello to Memphis and Arkansas, Mississippi, and maybe Louisiana, where I have looked ahead and the weather looks absolutely stunningly gorgeous, and Brinkley is still living his best life. I'll tell you what, he is having fun, and every time we open that door, he has got someplace new to explore, and he is sleeping and having fun while we're traveling, keeping his moose and his bear company between our seats. So we'll say goodbye. Thanks for joining us. Hit the like and subscribe if you want, and we'll see you in the next video.